Hello, good evening, and welcome to round number 45 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday here in Live for Speed. Tonight we're at Blackwood Historic Reversed for another round of this infamous championship in Live for Speed. The longest running single championship in LFS continues for another round in the 2023 season, and it's a belter of a track. It's Blackwood in reverse, but without that terrible chicane at the final corner. Well, we love the chicane, but anyway, it's good sometimes to have a bit of something different, and here it is. We're going to have two 35-lap races around here this evening, which means that the second race is going to have a reversed top 15. And we're also going to have a mandatory pit stop in both races to shake things up even more. So expect roughly half an hour of racing per race this evening in the formidable Formula XR, the 2-litre inline 4 mid-engine rear-wheel drive car that we're all so familiar with at this point. But if you're not, here are the stats on this car. It comes as standard in Live for Speed S2, and it is a heck of a lot of fun. So we are going to go racing once again here in this championship. Qualifying is getting underway in the background. We have no laps on the board, but we're going to bring you all of the laps tonight. And here's the calendar. We have one broadcasted round left before the end of the main championship. There is a rumour that we might do another one just before the end of the year, but we'll bring you news on that as soon as we can. Tonight is round number 45, as I said, at BL2R, or otherwise known as Blackwood Historic Reversed. That's the one without the chicane, and it is available to you to drive in LFS today, so go and check it out. It's a pretty cool track. We'll go through the qualifying standings, the Drivers' Championship standings, the Teams' Championship standings after the qualifying action. So let's head to the track and see what's going on out there and who is currently setting the pace in the session. I believe we've just had our first lap time, and it is one of the Argentina Turismo drivers who has set the benchmark. A 1 minute 08.5 is Nico's benchmark, as Johnny SVK finishes a lap there and then clouts the wall in sympathy. And at the exact same time, absolutely unbelievable, the same time to start the race, to start the qualifying session here today. So who have we got coming to the final corner? We've got Roger Chen just rounding the final corner here in a Mercedes AMG Formula One livery, and here he comes to the line. Let's see what Roger Chen should manage. It should be quicker than those two, and it is a 1:07.87. A nice lap there. Next we're going to have Ipsal running the number 90. I'm used to seeing him in endurance racing, of course, but trying out his hand at sprint racing this evening. Not going through the chicane, of course. We're cutting out the chicane down to the final hairpin, and around we go onto the power. Don't get on the grass there on the exit. We're going to see plenty of drivers dropping wheels onto the grass on the exit of the final corner and looping the car quite spectacularly. But across the line comes Ipsal in P2 at 1:08.05. Next we have Boy in this lovely lilac livery, just going up the back straight, a very, very long back straight. A great opportunity for plenty of slipstream action here this evening. So this is a prime overtaking opportunity, and especially considering it's extended, of course. Again, skipping the chicane, bit of a lock up on the left hand side there, breaking down into a tricky braking zone. It is more bumpy there than it used to be since the reprofiling. One of the many reprofilings, the latest incarnation of Blackwood. And across the line, Boy in a 1:11.83. Not a good lap there, really, from Boy. Next, it's Al Payson across the line, quick as they come. 1:08.57 goes P5. Then it's Finn UK, who was in the chat, actually, in Twitch just before we went live to say that he has COVID. So I wouldn't want to be driving with COVID. I've unfortunately had it a couple of times, and it's not a lot of fun. So hopefully he's past the terrible stage where you end up in a sweaty ball of mess, if those were the symptoms that you had. So hopefully Finn recovers soon and is enjoying his evening driving a Fox around BL2R. Comes across the line at 1:09.35. His time in qualifying, P6 only on this occasion. Next we have Onifus just entering the back straight as well. We won't see much of the front section of the track tonight in qualifying by the looks of it. We're just picking up the cars as they finish their flying laps around the back of the circuit. Let's see how Onifus manages the final braking zone. We're into the pack of Fragmaster's drivers. We've got Strutter and Pantheo left to come. But out of the final corner, we come for Onifus and up the hill. Of course, the start grid for this one is going to be an uphill start, so plenty of wheel spin off the line. And it's P3 provisionally for Onifus. It's going to be Pantheo across the line next very quickly. No, here he is. He's on the back straight, so just entering the final sector of the lap just now. So into the final corner he comes, and doesn't want to get onto the grass, but no such problems for Pantheo. Let's see what we get as he comes across the line. For Pantheo, a long-time member of the Fragmasters team, goes into P7, previously of Teo GP, but has been involved in the running of Fragmasters Fox Friday for a lot of years. Here's Strutter next to finish a lap. We saw him winding up for a lap a few moments ago, just before Pantheo came onto the cameras. But here is Strutter as he approaches the final corner. And let's see what he can do. Looks committed. According to Zdravko Topolniak, Strutter is the best driver in the world. It doesn't matter what he's driving. But let's see if Strutter can get onto the top step today and fulfill Zdravko's prophecy. Not quite. P3. Good effort. A 108.33. Here's Happy D, but won't be the next to cross the line. He is just starting. It's Friends United Rocket who is going to be next to cross the timing line to register a lap. We've had 10 drivers so far. We're going to have around about 30 more, so buckle in. This is going to be a 20-minute remainder probably of qualifying. And to the final corner comes Rocket in that bright green and red, garish, some might say, livery, but we like a bright livery here on the channel. At least they're easy to spot among the drab and colourless liveries out there. P10 for Rocket, a 1 minute 10.37. And next we return to Happy D. We saw him previously, but this is a nice livery. The Fusion logo there on the wings, and a nice black, red and white complementary livery there. Fits the car very nicely, I think. And as he comes down to the final corner, bit of a kick of oversteer, doesn't use all the curb on the exit, so this isn't going to be an optimal end to the lap, but let's see where he goes on the timing board. Well, P2, so actually I was probably a little bit quick to the gun there, but that could have been a little bit better, but only 11 hundredths off the best time at the moment. Colin crosses the line to start a lap, but here's Carrera who's finishing one for Master Race Car. The team so famous for their single-seater racing in the slightly less powerful, actually, the Formula BMW. So similar to the FM name of the event we're running here, Fragmasters, but the Formula BMW, kind of synonymous with MRC these days. Across the line, P11 for Carrera. And now another driver for MRC, Zesty, out of the final corner, but there we go, onto the grass. You heard the engine note rise as the rear differential struggles to maintain traction. And across the line, P4, so again, what could have been for Zesty. Back to Colin. In a somewhat interesting fashion. Well, points for style, but not able to finish the lap. Probably would have caught that if he'd have let the tyres grip back up. He may be allowed to complete another lap at the end of the session, but that was a completely unforced error, so perhaps not. We might be seeing Colin qualifying last or not being able to start if we get more than 40 qualifiers. Who is next, I wonder? Who have we got? It's Pekka Koivunen on cameras. Just finishing the lap as well. No drama into the final corner. Will have seen the black rubber left from the driver previously. Colin doing a bit of a loop into the final corner and then aborting the run. So Koivunen will complete a lap and goes P6. It's TJ. Oh, and we got another corner. There we go. That is a different corner that we haven't seen before today. TJ running for Road Appraiser, but running the Oracle Red Bull Racing livery. There's a very colourful car moving out of the way. I'm sure we're going to find out who that is very soon. It looks like Mantas just getting ready for a lap. But into the final corner comes TJ then. And onto the power. And this could be a good one. Very, very smooth through that final sector. And what is TJ going to manage? It's going to be quick. It's going to be pole provisionally by over 1/10 of a second on Roger Chen. We've got someone spinning around. It's Adal, and Adal is supposed to be the next person across the line. But this is going to be by far and away the slowest lap time of the day, and we can call that already. We briefly saw Borislav Botev. We'll pick up with him in a minute, but will Adal finish the lap? Yes, he will, but it's going to be the slowest time. That was the, I believe, second spin on these timed laps, so not ideal. As he comes to the end of the lap, will there be a third one for good measure? Very unusual to spin the car on a qualifying lap here at Blackwood. Again, struggling to get the car slowed down, probably due to overheated tyres, but we will see. Adal is going to be well into the 110s. Unfortunately, with this attempt, trying to shorten the lap as much as possible across the grass, but it is a 124.8, so that is going to be last place probably, unless someone else has a mare. Born to race Mantas. Final corner, up the hill, very striking livery. Colourful. And goes P2, not quite able to beat TJ's time, only 1/100th of a second. We've got Bispolge going out of the final corner now. Bright cyan and white, that will be easy to spot during the race. Across the line, P8. And fast and crazy Sim Sports, Borislav Botev here. I don't remember the last time I saw another driver from FNC in the game. But Botev is, well, flying the flag for that team, all on his own, has been for a number of years, as far as I can tell. But anyway, out of the final corner he comes. Not the most committed final corner, but let's see what he can manage in the list. 19 times so far. This will be the 20th time, and it's going to be P19. So not a good lap that from Botev. Next, it's Kirku 87. Bit of a wobble there onto the back straight. You don't want to compromise your line onto the back straight. You've got to be confident. You've got to be smooth because it's a long run. And if you're down on speed by only a couple of Ks out of the corner onto the back straight, you're going to lose a lot of time. So let's see what Kirku does into the final corner. This is the most violent braking zone on the track, and you can see that as a puff of smoke ejects itself from the left-hand side of the car. Grass spitting out from the right-hand side as he runs it a bit wide. So probably outside the top 10, this one for Kirku. P16, a 109.58. Next we've got Yara Loco. This is the Yara Loco. Driving with a different team name. I'm not familiar with that one. Across the line for P9. So, yeah, in true Yara Loco fashion, a good lap with a dramatic finish that puts him on his roof, which is normal. Here's Gabor in the Lucky Strike Formula 1 inspired livery as he comes out of the final corner. And up the hill. What's it going to be? Can he beat TJ? Can he get on the front row? Yes, he can, by some margin. My goodness me. And immediately spectating, and we pan the cameras to Rex, who will be our next driver, driving another Formula 1 inspired livery. The Ferrari there, of course. But that was a dodgy end to the first sector. So we'll hope for better things into the final corner. But what a time from Gabor, so far ahead of everyone else. Almost 0.3 of a second better than anyone else. In fact, 2.5 tenths. Final corner for Rex, running it very, very wide, risking it on the brakes. And there you go, flick of oversteer, puff of tyre smoke, very committed. Looked good, probably wasn't as fast as it could have been. But let's see, Rex often qualifies very well for Fragmaster's Fox Friday. Let's see if he can do it again. He can, P3, good effort at this stage in the session. with 24 times. Exactly the same time as TJ, exactly the same finish as Yaroloco there, slamming into the wall. So following in the footsteps. Next we have SGR Christie, SG Racing, into the final corner. Very smartly turned out livery there, like that. I don't like that line though. That is suboptimal. Barely managing to keep it out of the little bollards there. Lock up, running wide. Won't be the best time, but let's see what he can manage. It will be P23 only. So Colin has been allowed out for another attempt. So the race control feeling generous, wanting to give everyone another chance if they blow it on their first attempt. But yeah, Colin looped the car and then aborted his run on his last attempt at this exact corner. So let's see if he can manage it again. Better this time. Drives over his own rubber that he left on the road, and that looks much better, much cleaner. Let's see what Colin can manage as we head over the start-finish line for the end of his run. 25 times currently. And what's it going to be? It's going to be... Oh, I didn't actually catch that. As he came across the line. P19 for Colin. Just Doctor to go then for Road Appraiser. And we will have our grid. 27 cars will have set a qualifying time. Which means we may even start early for the race, because normally qualifying can run to the death. But 10 minutes is supposed to be on the clock before the start of race 1. Let's see what Doctor can manage as he runs to the line. And it's P7, a good time. Joins his teammate in the top 10. And that is the end of qualifying. That is everybody. We can go for a rundown of the full order, and then we can get into the grit of the drivers and teams championship standings for today's action. It's Gabor who sets a stunning time, 2.5 tenths off everybody else. TJ P2, Rex in third, with Mantas, Roger Chen, Happy D, Dr. Ipsal, Zesty, and the best driver in the world, according to Zdravko Topolniak, Jutter in P10. Bispolj in P11, followed by Yaroloco, the Yaroloco, in P12. Pekka Koivunen in P13. Onifus, Nico, Johnny SVK backwards. We're still not sure why his name is backwards. Hopefully it's not foreshadowing. Then we've got a trio of Fragmasters drivers. It's P17 for Al Payson, followed by Pantheo and Finn UK, who is driving with the Lurgy. So get well soon. But a decent qualifying session nonetheless for Finn. Then Colin in P number 20. We have a second page of results for you, and there are 7 names on it. It's Kirku, Carrera, Rocket, Boy, Christie, Borislav Botov, and Adal. Adal with that terrible lap, has to be said. Although only just slower than Botov. I'm not sure. Something must have gone very badly wrong for Botov at the beginning of his lap, because the end of his lap didn't seem to be that bad. But as you can see, those drivers are well outside the 110% time and may, at the discretion of race control, not be allowed to start the race. But they're both experienced drivers. Pretty sure they'll be allowed to start. We know that they can manage a car around this track. So even though their qualifying times do not reflect that, they should be allowed to start. Anyway, we are going to go to the championship standings next before we get going for our racing action this evening. So without any further ado, let's take a look then at the teams championship that has been an interesting subject all year long. We're going to get an update to the standings right now. It's Fragmaster who lead by 107 points over Road Appraiser, with Sidus in P number 3, Master Race Car, FM2, Good Drivers, World Class Lions, FM3, Race Green and Iron, the top 10. A large number of Fragmasters drivers is why we have such a large number of teams. There are 5 FM drivers here this evening, which means they make up the majority of the teams who have attended today, based on the number of teams in representation for a single outfit. But there you go. For FM4 in P11, Master Race Car 2 in P12, with Born to Race, the first entry for them, all the way down in P13, which is surprising because we tend to see quite a few B2R drivers attending Fragmasters Fox Friday. but just Mantas today driving for them. So crucial points needed, but the championship lead and the battle is between Sidus, Road Appraiser and Fragmaster. But can Sidus even get anywhere near Fragmaster before the end of the year? We will have to wait and see. Then we've got Road Appraiser 2 in P14, Fragmaster 5 in 15th, Road Appraiser 3 in 16th, Sidus 2 in 17th, PSR in 18th, Born to Race 2 in 19th, and FR, Furtive Racing, down in P20. Over on the second page, I will let you read those because that's a lot of teams. But there we go. Friends United in P21 and SGR, latecomers to the season, but showing up with drivers week in, week out, round out the 40 teams who have scored points on our table there. Right, let's get over to the important stuff. Let's look at the Drivers' Championship standings and see who's leading the way. Who is it? Who is it at the top of our standings? It's none other than Gabor. However, it is getting close. It's not over yet. There are still points on offer in the championship, of course. We've still got quite a few rounds to go before the end of the year. And what can TJ do to upset Gabor's day? Gabor got the better of him in the qualifying session just now, so we are going to have to see what happens, but only 2.5 tenths separating them in quali. It's not much, but Gabor cannot be allowed to run away during either of the races tonight. We do have that reversed grid second race, which could throw a spanner in the works for either of those drivers, but TJ knows that he needs a good result if he wants to grab a 4th Fox Friday Championship to his name. He's currently got 3. He'd love a 4th to deny Gabor the overall win, but he has work to do. Roger Chen in 3rd, Fatal in P4, Zesty, Onifus, Rex, Al Payson, Happy D, and Race Green RD2 there. The top 10, and let's let these results scroll on by and let you take a look at them because they paint a picture. Lots and lots and lots of teams, lots and lots and lots of drivers competing every single week in the Fragmasters Fox Friday Championship, and we are grateful to every single one of you for turning up week in, week out to provide us with, the entertainment that we are putting out there on our channel. So thank you very much. I did say there were a lot of results. That's 100 scrolling on by. You can see why I'm not reading them all out, but there we are. 111, 140. My goodness me, this list goes on and on. There will be an end at some point. If you spot your name, congratulations. Thank you again. And 160 drivers. My goodness me. So yeah, ever popular this series. And there you are, 163 entries there. All the drivers who have scored at least 1 point this year. A colossal number, testament to the popularity and the way that this series is organised. And we hope that the broadcast is another sweetener for your interest and potentially a reason to join us next time. Because this happens every single week. You just have to jump in the server during qualifying and try and set your best lap time on the one-shot qualifying that we have here at Fragmasters Fox Friday. But anyway, the intrigue is at the front of the table. There are 4 drivers who have over 1,000 points, but the battle really is between our top 2 today, Gabor and TJ. The positions that they are on that championship standings table is the position that they will line up in today's race. It's going to be fascinating. And here is today's action. We are at Blackwood Historic Reversed BL2R, 2.6 kilometers, 1.6 miles. We have an uphill start, and we do not have a final chicane. Just 6 corners. 7 corners if you include that final little kink, which, let's be honest, it's not really a corner. So 6 corners really today. But 2 35-lap races are coming your way. I'm Peter Butcher, and I'm happy to say that joining me in the commentary box tonight will be Michael Málek to help me call the action for both these races. Michael Málek, how are you doing?
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here again. I'm doing fine, although quite busy tonight. How about you, Pete?
Yeah, no, happy to have you with me. Yeah, also pretty busy day, but happy to be here in the evening for some Fragmasters action. I don't know how much of qualifying you caught, but it's going to be a titanic battle at the front between Gabor and TJ once again.
I got home very late, but I caught the second half of the quali, and I'm looking forward for some amazing racing on this rather well-known track that you can try in the demo version of Live for Speed if you're there.
Well, you can't try this one, unfortunately, because it's the reversed version. But
That's true.
I see where you were going with that. But there we go. So we are actually going to see, we're going to see 27 cars. I think Race Control are going to let the two drivers who didn't manage to get inside the 110%, and they're going to be allowed to start the race, which is always great. So get them on the go. And we have less than a minute to go now. Well, just over a minute to go before the start of race number 1, Michael. Reminder to the viewers, reminder to everybody that there are 35 laps, 1 mandatory pit stop, and the top 15 for race 2 are reversed. So anyone who finishes in P15 will start race 2 on the front row in P1. So that's kind of the magic position. If your race doesn't go very well, you want to try and finish as close to P15 as possible. So in essence, there are 2 races going on in this first race to keep an eye on. The race for the win and the race for P15. It's always quite interesting. Everyone tries to finish in that P15 spot if their racing isn't going as well as maybe they hoped it would. Less than a minute to go then before the start of this one, Michael. I'm not going to make you pick a winner because it's going to be so tight. But Gabor had the edge in qualifying, 2.5 tenths, 25 hundredths ahead of TJ. TJ's got the experience. Gabor has experience as well, but he doesn't have experience of winning as many FM Fox Friday Championships as TJ does just yet. So let's see what happens as we take to the grid in a few seconds' time. Michael, you're going to take the start for me, I think. So enjoy.
And here we are ready for the start of the 45th Fragmaster Fox Friday event this year. It's Gabor on pole position, TJ alongside him in the front row, then Rex and Mantas in the second row. And let's see, lights are on and we are going green at the Blackwood. It's a good start for Gabor, but TJ is still very close, he's slotting behind. Let's see if he's brave into the turn 1. Actually, Gabor got away relatively cleanly, and TJ has to defend from good drivers Rex in P3. So far, so good. Everyone is going cleanly. I see someone spinning there in the background. Not sure who it was, but we are now watching good drivers Rex in P3. So far, no change in the order in the top 4. It's still Gabor leading over TJ, Rex, and Mantas. Then it's Roger Chen in P5, Master Race Car Hippity in P6, Ipsail, Dr. Strutter, and Master Race Car Zesty in P10. We see a beautiful train of cars going over the main back straight, I would say. The gaggle of cars, I see plenty of battling with quite many people over the 18th place. Let's see who's the most bravest on the brakes. It looks like Finn UK is the brave one here. As this, oh, there's some collision. Multiple cars pile up and someone's going into the pit lane.
Yeah, that's Pekka Koivunen off into the wall and dropping all the way down to the back. We've got cars in the pit lane. But after one lap, it's Gabor who leads ahead of TJ, who is just about holding on to good drivers Rex, who has had a really good start once again. But Zesty's spun. He's lost it at turn number 1, dropping down the order. So that's a surprise. Zesty, someone who's usually a safe pair of hands in a single-seater, he's dropped it, and he's down to almost the back. He's down there with Pekka, Mike.
Yeah, that must be a huge disappointment for him, and I think he will pit now and try to recover later.
Argentina Turismo's Nico is trying to, has just got through on Rocket, and it looks like we have a 3-wide at the background with Boy and Bortz and Collins in there as well at the back, and they're all going to be trying to work out who's going to lead into the final corner. 4 wide, yeah, love to see it. And well, they're split up into 2s now, but there you go. That's the effect of the slipstream on this back straight, and there is contact. And that was a road appraiser driver. That was Bortz, who now bails into the pit lane, and Carrera had a spin out of the final corner and now assumes the back of our 27 car pack here. No, actually, Nico and Al Payson are battling in the back there. TJ's managed to break away from Rex, Michael.
Yeah, meanwhile, we are watching Pekka Koivunen defending heavily from Adar, Racket, and Colin. All of them are really close to his back, and I'm sure they will try to capitalize on the back straight as long as they are able to keep in the dirty air. And it looks like Nico has rolled it in the background and left the race, so that leaves 25 cars, I believe, still in the race. In the race where Gabor is leading. There is apparently a battle between Boy and Pekka Koivunen for the P20 over the Mineback Straight. Zesty has overtaken Finn UK, and looks like Pekka Koivunen has made a move over the Boy and is now in P19 and now P18 as he overtook a struggling car in the final turn of lap 3.
Yeah, that was Zesty having even more trouble and just keeps going backwards and backwards and backwards. Has Adal now up front, so Adal's had a really good start, having qualified very, very badly. He's now into the top 20. He'll be quite happy with that as the field snakes its way onto the back straight once again. Gabor, he's managed to get away and open the gap to almost a second already. Well, TJ will be glad that he's managed to drop Rex. Rex is in a nice little window here. Mantas also in a nice window. Roger Chen there, up to P5, so a good start from him too. Finn UK has had a good start as well. He's up to P17, and it looks like Zesty is trying to make up places as well. He's just managed to get past Boy on the inside, the very, very inside. Just about should have the line into the final corner.
And as they are going into the braking zone, we are switching to Pekka Koivunen, who's battling with Finn UK for the P17. And so far, it's Finn UK who keeps staying ahead. Let's see if Pekka tries something into turn 1. He goes around the outside, which will be inside for this first turn. Little contact, another contact, still side by side. But looks like Finn UK will have to slot behind Pekka, and as I said, that Finn UK is actually going over the grass and losing even more positions.
Yeah, not ideal, that one. And he's dropping down. Zesty picks up another place as the cars sweep their way back onto this long, very, very long back straight. As we look down the back straight at these the cars at the back, there's not really much going on at the front of the pack. That's Adal on Boy going up the inside as Pekka Koivunen hits the pit lane, decides enough is enough at the back and wants to get his stop out of the way. In all the flurry of activity at the beginning, Michael, we didn't really pay attention to who was stopping, but it looks like Al Payson is currently the highest position driver who has made a stop. So that's worth keeping an eye on when everything sorts itself out later on. So onto the back straight once again for all of our drivers as we watch the train go by. Gabor, TJ, Rex, Mantas, Roger Chen, Ipsal, Happy D, Strutter, Doctor and Bice Bulge, the top 10. And well, we've got some gaps forming already, but we are going to see some battles at some point. There's Zesty trying to consolidate some places. Side-by-side action with Boy and Colin as well. Let's see what Zesty's doing. Can he get past into the final corner? Let's see. Looks like he can, and he makes up a place on Kirku quite easily in the end. Kirku's struggling to keep up there as Finn UK bails into the pit lane in the background.
Yeah, speaking of this, I am very surprised he has not pitted, but looks like he's here tonight for having fun rather than a good result. And apparently he's really enjoying battling with everyone, so kudos to him for staying where he is. He's proving that he can overtake with some high quality, I would say. As we are watching now, TJ slowly fading behind Gabor. Now the gap is almost 1.5 seconds. So at this point, early in the first race, Gabor seems to have the upper hand, but we will see if there's some difference later in the race.
Furious battle going on here between Happy D and Ipsal, weaving everywhere. Happy D sends it up the inside. He has a nose there. Ipsal tries to turn in. Ipsal were watching in the red and black machine there, and Happy D trying to defend, and well, still side by side as we go up the hill. Great camera shot that, and then down into turn number 1, still side by side, but it's Happy D who comes out on top for now. And this is a battle for quite a high position. This is P6, so furious action at the front. Great stuff. Oh! Ipsal goes on the grass and almost loses it, so well held, but loses a lot of time, and is now firmly in P7 and might have to look in his mirror for Strutter as Adal goes into the pit lane and picks a box somewhere in the middle. No work, and then drifts his way back out and will rejoin the race somewhere near the back again. Carrera, the only car behind him now. As Gabor comes into the final corner to begin lap number 9 here in race number 1. Remember, there are 2 races. P15 will be pole position for race 2, as we have a reverse top 15. So Gabor, if he finishes here, will start all the way down in P15 for race 2, which will be a very difficult place to be. TJ will be hoping for better towards the end of this race, but what can he do, Michael? There's just nothing you can do when Gabor's on a good day. You just have to hope that something goes wrong, and it very rarely does.
Yeah, this really looks like a good day for Gabor. I think at this point it's just a waiting game for the TJ, as the gap in between them is fairly stable, and same goes for the gap between TJ and Rex. But I think things could get really spiced up towards the end of the race, especially when we count in the mandatory pit stops that each driver has to do once.
May have a battle on for P10 here. Onifus may have a distant toe on Doctor, though it looks like Yaroloco might have a better toe actually on Onifus than Onifus has. So on the inside goes Yaroloco, the move for P11 into the final corner, done even before the braking zone. So good effort that to get in position for the move. Super crucial to be in the right place at the right time out of the final corner. But there you are. Up the hill he goes, and across start finish, and he leads ahead of Onifus. So good effort there for Yaroloco.
Gabor is meanwhile still leading. The gap is now grown to 1.49 hundredths of a second over TJ, who's maintaining a similar gap to good drivers Rex, and similar gap to Mantas in P4. Meanwhile, Yaroloco is having some battle in the background.
Yeah, Onifus is back in the toe of Yaroloco. Yaroloco's in the toe of Doctor. So we're going to have a 3-wide situation into the final corner. Pretty much. Doctor goes backwards. He loses 2 places. Unbelievable. Well, actually, he might have it back here if he's brave on the brakes. Inside of Onifus, light contact, and these two are going to have a drag race up the hill to the first corner. But a good move there from Yaroloco up to P10, and he's already dropped these two. Onifus on the outside now, but that turns into the inside for the next kink. It's a forced wide, and that will be that. Or will it? Yes, it will.
Doctor went very wide, but it was the safe option here, and he's still in a very safe P12 as Boft is battling with Rocket for P21 or 22. Side by side, but Rocket backs out of it as he's not brave enough to go side by side into turn 1.
Well, not brave enough, or not stupid, I think might be the operative word. That's a tricky place to go side by side, and probably erring on the side of caution is the better move there for Rocket. Yeah, if you were going to go for that move, Michael, then fair play. But Rocket may have lent out of the throttle a little bit too much, because he's going to get overtaken quite easily by Koivu. And if he's not careful, and he wasn't careful, he lost the car, lost the rear. And Koivu says, "Thanks, I'll take that."
And that was a lot of struggle for him, but meanwhile, Doctor enters the pit line from P13. Let's see if he's doing any pit work. He doesn't. He was stationary for about 1 second, and he's coming back onto the left track. Let's see where he rejoins. Boy in the pits as well. There he is. He's about to slow down for the slow zone. There it is. As we are coming back to Rex and now Arolko in P10, trying to catch Bice Bulge. I see this name for the first time. I assume Pete does as well. I think it's someone from very old times. Not sure, but anyway.
We've got Ipsal off. He's off and he's managed to get it going again and has decided he's lost enough time and he'll go into pits. So into the pit lane goes Ipsal. Down to the 80 km/h, 50 mile an hour speed limit. Just about. It's a bit touch and go. But losing places, and that's a shame because he had a good start. Finds a pit box just about. No work, really. Back on his way, but he's going to lose a ton of positions as we return to Gabor, who's managed to get himself a 1.6 second lead after 12 laps on 3 times Fox Friday champion Road Appraiser TJ, which is crazy to think. Gabor is on another level at the moment. But, to be fair, TJ will be right in the sweet spot if Gabor does make a rare error. P3 is currently Good Drivers Rex, who yet again is proving to everybody that he's got what it takes to be at the sharp end of a Fox Friday grid. Very consistent results recently from what we've seen on the channel. So when he's on a good day, Good Drivers Rex is right there. And look at that, he's taken the fastest lap of the race. Previously held by Gabor, but Rex doing the business, and that will not go unnoticed. Certainly hasn't gone unnoticed by us here in the commentary box. We're currently watching Mantas, however, in that very striking livery, because he is coming under pressure from Roger Chen, who is a known quantity in Fox Racing. Very, very fast, very consistent, but really should, at this point, be fighting for podiums. So has to get past Mantas now and try to catch up to Rex, who's... Oh, there's someone in the background there, off. Looked like... Oh, who is that? Is that a back marker? I think it's a back marker. It's Carrera, so it's our back marker. Having a bit of a wobble into the wall and going quite slowly, actually, down the back straight. But yeah, back to Roger. He's right in the zone with Mantas, and Mantas is no slouch either. So this could be a healthy fight to watch throughout the first race, potentially into the second race as well. As we go over 15 minutes into the race, so this will run over time. 35 laps of racing is going to go well over half an hour this evening. About 40 minutes-ish we expect then for race 1. So a good amount of racing for the drivers this evening, and we're all for it. This is a fantastic track, and I feel like the removal of the final chicane, it feels like it's simplifying the lap, but it adds another massive challenge, because braking into that final corner when your tyres are not with you is pretty tricky. Fewer opportunities to roll the car as well. The sausage curbs at the final chicane, notorious for sending these Fox cars skywards. Perhaps not in this direction with the increased downforce that's going over the cars at higher speeds into there, but still, Roger Chen looks hungry for this one, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. Roger Chen is really close at the back of the Mantas, but it looks like unless Mantas does some serious mistake, it will be really difficult for Roger to make the pass. But still, he has about 20 laps to try something, including the mandatory pit stops. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity to make the pass, as we are watching Doctor in P15 battling with Ipsel, I believe. They're going side by side, and Ipsail has backed off and actually sliding in turn 1, leaving Doctor ahead at P15 as we are switching to Mantas, who looks to be safe for now from Roger Chen in P5, as the gap in between them is, I would say, long enough to avoid any slipstreaming and attempting overtakes in the braking area. They're both having rather good line and coming into the lap 17 of lap 35 of the first race of the 45th Fragmaster Fox Friday this year. And there was some collision.
Got a car off in the background. It's Colin losing places as Ipsal has removed himself from the race. Bort's here in a fight with Kirku. Kirku trying to get past. No, backs off. So Bort's in P16 then. But what's happened between Mantas and Roger Chen? It looks like Roger has made a mistake because he's now got Happy D for company. And Happy D is in exactly the right spot. Roger has lost a lot of time. 3 seconds.
Yeah, he must have spun somewhere because there's a lot of lost time, and looks like this will be easy take for Happy D here on the straight as they are going side by side, and I'm sure Happy D will be ahead before they even get into the braking zone. And there we are. There's not much Roger Chen can do now other than switch back and trying to make the revenge into the turn 1, but so far it looks like Happy D has it settled in P5.
Yeah, indeed. Cross start finish they go. Happy D makes up a place, capitalising on the mistake from Roger Chen. I was singing his praises before, but yeah, a mistake off camera means that he loses a place, and now we'll have to fight with another very talented driver who perhaps won't really have expected to be up in P5 at this stage of the race. But fair play to Happy D. Good effort. As we have Pekka fighting with Kirku up the hill towards start finish side by side. Pekka on the inside, and that's going to be slam dunk into turn 1. That is job done. Kirku drops back, and Koivunen now has clear sight of the gearbox of Alpayson from Fragmasters. He's 16 currently, third of the Fragmasters team at the moment, as Gabor comes up the hill to start lap 19 of 35 here in race 1. And doing a very nice job indeed, gradually opening up the gap to TJ. But he's starting to lap folk, which means there's an added complication for him. First meet will be Adal. In fact, he's already got past Carrera because Carrera had a bit of a spin previous, I think, 2 laps ago. So Adal is the first on-track overtake that Gabor will have done all race, Michael.
Yeah, this is a rather short track. It's on about 3 kilometers, but 6 miles long, so it doesn't take that much time to get someone lapped. And this is the moment when, as you said, the race will become more complex. But looks like Gabor will be able to make the pass in places where it's not as difficult to let somebody go, as we are watching now Adal safely going around outside and letting Gabor do his stuff. And let's see if TJ and Rex make as easy pass as Gabor did just now. So far TJ is in P2. The gap has grown to 2.1 seconds behind Gabor, as Happy D is now under pressure from Roger Chen, who's really hungry for that top 5 position. Let's see if Happy D does any mistake.
Yeah, he's trying to get it back. He's been trying for a few laps. Well, there we go. That's a good exit. So Michael, take it away.
Yeah, it looks like Happy D will have a lot of trouble now keeping Roger Chen behind, but Roger Chen went wide, and let's see if there's enough of slipstream for Roger Chen to catch up before the braking zone. But so far it looks like Happy D is safe for the time being. Let's see if it stays this way. Roger is slowly catching, but the straight is running out, and there's not really opportunity to get alongside, so he has to wait and see what he can do in another lap.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity, but just didn't get the exit he needed. It's so important that final corner before the back straight, turn 4. Turn 5, absolutely crucial. And yeah, he's closed up again, so possibly different setups to Happy D. But again, he just can't get these apexes right when he's following another car at the moment. Another error into turn 2, and it's just going all wrong for him.
Let's not forget that these cars have some downforce and yeah,
very wide,
but the gap behind him is large enough to maintain P4, and I think it will stay this way for the time being. But these cars are aero dependent, and taking turn closely behind someone means that you are in a lot of dirty air, as we were seeing. But now we are seeing Onefus, I think. No, it was Strater, sorry, being overtaken by Bice Bolie into the last turn, and that means that Strater is falling to P8 as a few Rocket has made the mandatory pit stop, is returning to the track in P24, which
got a drive through, so he's gonna have to go through again.
But luck for him.
Yeah, not great. Saw Mantas making an error before, which means he's the gap between him and Happy D has gone back down to 3 seconds again. So the advantage that Mantas gained while in pursuit of Rex disappeared. Now Mantas has got traffic. Mantas has got to get past Adal. And now there are 4 drivers who are off of the lead lap. Gabor swallowed them up. That was TJ. And into the final corner it comes, Gabor. Start lap 23 of 35. Closely followed by TJ, who has brought the gap down by a couple of tenths of a second over the last couple of laps while the lapping was happening. And that is a gap that Gabor cannot relax. He does not have a comfortable buffer. 1.8 seconds can disappear in a flash if you drop a wheel on the grass. Not even a whole wheel needed to lose that sort of time. As we return our attention to Strutter, who is going in the pit lane with Rocket, who is doing his penalty. So Rocket will drive straight through. But it looks like Strutter will be a lap ahead of Rocket when he catches back up to him. Rocket is a lap down on our leader at the moment. Let's get an update, Michael, on the stop situation. Strutter is currently the highest placed driver who has made one. So that gives you an indication of whereabouts our leaders are going to be looking. P15 currently occupied by Bortz, although that's going to change as some of the drivers at the tail end of the top 10 decide to make their pit stop. As we watch Gabor completing yet another lap, he's driving so fast that it feels like the laps are ticking off quicker than we can count them. As he sets the fastest lap of the race, takes it away from Rex. Finally, Rex held on to the fastest lap for quite a long time as Bolge goes into the pits. Over the timing line he goes, on the limiter, and into a pit box then for him. And it's not the quickest of stops, so maybe a little bit of fuel going in, and resumes on his way. More bad news for Colin. That's turn 3, or just before turn 3, and he's off and resuming quite slowly there. So not a good day for Colin in the end. Nice livery, but unfortunately not the performance he would have been after.
Definitely. Meanwhile, we are watching Borislav Botiev in P9 chasing Onefus from Fragmaster, trying his best to catch and overtake, but Onefus is a very skilled player when it comes to Fragmaster Fox Friday events, and I'm sure he will do everything he can in order to stay in front. And one of the methods is coming into the pit lane, trying to avoid any direct fight and losing time. Let's see how it goes for him.
That's perfect. Perfect timing. First pit box for Onifus as we switch to Pekka Koivunen for World Class Lions, who's closing up to the back of Al Payson. Not close enough to make a move, but Al feeling as though he had to go defensive. Interesting. So it must have caught him up at a rate of knots. In fact, yeah, Al going very defensive. Whoa.
And very slowly.
Oh, Pekka Koivunen is going to have to go around the long way here, and Al has got his teeth out to try and stop it from happening. Oh, there is contact, and Al goes into the wall. He did not want to give that up at all.
That's very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, for sure. But Pekka had the car on the inside. I don't feel as though he really squeezed Al out wide. Al will be furious with that. But yeah, needs to try and consolidate P18 then. Not what he would have been wanting to do this afternoon. But yeah, damage to the front wingers. Who's that shooting off into the wall? That was interesting. Somebody lagging by the looks of it. Carrera's having a really bad time of it. But yeah, for a moment there, thought he'd shot off into the wall, but just lag. So sorry for that. I'll calm down. Borislav Botev goes into the pits, and he's got a drive-through penalty for speeding at the entry. So another trip down the pit lane will be needed for him. It's so silly giving away time like that by speeding into the pit lane. Just take a little bit of time to slow the car down. It's not worth it in a race like this, especially when you're outside the top 10. Just don't give away places like that. Johnny SVK also made a pit stop. Now resumes, and resumes just in front of Al Payson, who had that disastrous turn 1 on the previous lap. Just trying too hard, I think, to get past Pekka, or rather to keep Pekka behind. It just went all wrong. Unlucky. Anyway, Gabor is in the lead now with a bit of a buffer now. If he makes a small error, it's going to be all right. 2 and a bit seconds, the gap between himself and Rodaprosa TJ. He looks very, very comfortable, doesn't he, Michael, with 7 laps to go?
Yeah, it is all coming very well for him, so I think he's feeling very, very comfortable now, and the last thing he do is to get a drive-through in the mandatory pit stop.
Yeah, you're right. There is always that. That wouldn't just drop him down to P2 though. That would lose him 2 or 3 places. And here is Botev just serving that drive-through penalty. Maybe lucky to get out ahead of Gabor at this rate. Actually, no, Gabor just going across start-finish. And Rex takes back the fastest lap. So Rex really has the pace. This is something to watch out for in race 2, Michael. I'm not making it up. Rex has the 1-lap pace, but does he have the consistency? As Bolge goes for a move then on Onifus on the outside, not the ideal line to get around at the final corner. So Onifus will keep the car on the inside. Oh, and there is a little bit of contact, but just enough for Bolge to keep the place. Nice stuff. P10.
Yeah, that was a really close one. But speaking of Rex, one thing is going in the clean air in the 3rd place, and another one will be starting from P12, I believe, and trying to get through the half of the field. So we will see a very different race for him in about 15 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Johnny SVK backwards is backwards at the final turn, so his name made sense. But it doesn't anymore because he's driving forwards again. But losing... Oh no, he's not losing a place because that's Gabor, so he's losing a lap. And Finn UK is going to try and be opportunistic and swings around the outside and says, "Ha!" As Johnny SVK loses a place on the track and loses all pride. Yeah, dear. Gabor takes the fastest lap back, thinks that Rex doesn't deserve that again for any length of time. Yeah, only 5 seconds to Rex. That is a heck of a performance from our top 3. Mantas, a few too many mistakes to stay within 10 seconds of our race leader. Good drivers, Rex. I am tuned into your wavelength, my friend. That is a good performance so far. Keep it up. And let's see what happens in race 2, Michael. I think we're going to have an exciting race 2. It's going to be great. We should send out the word, spread the news, spread the stream. like and subscribe to the video on our channel, please. Follow us on Twitch if you feel like it, because we're going to have a drama-filled race too, and we want more viewers to witness it. It'd be great. So spread the love, all the good stuff. And thank you for your support here on Sim Broadcasts. We really do appreciate you tuning in to watch, as we are down to just 6 laps to go in race 1. Gabor leads ahead of TJ. Gabor has engine damage. Is he classic case of pushing too hard again? Gabor suffering a little bit of engine damage. TJ P2 having to weave through some traffic. Rex will also have to weave through the traffic. There is a fight going on just up ahead of him between Finn UK and Johnny SVK. See what happens here then. It should be pretty straightforward on the home straight, but Rex will be getting a monster tow and may be able to get back the fastest lap, and with no way for Gabor to beat him on this occasion, because that was a double tow. Absolutely lovely. So a good final corner for Rex, and it could be fastest lap to him for the race, because there's not really much that Gabor can do if he doesn't get the good run of traffic, Michael. Let's see what he can manage.
That was a beautiful double slipstream, and let's see if this turns out into the fastest lap.
Oh, it is!
It does.
Brilliant. So yeah, you know, getting a clean lap and then taking advantage of a beautiful double slipstream provided by 2 cars that were willing to give it to him, and that means that Rex takes the fastest lap back, and Gabor's going to have to dig very, very deep to do that without a tow. And he'll be realizing this. He'll be thinking, "Oh wow, that's a good effort." As Yara Loco comes into the pit lane, quick stop, back on his way, trying to get back out as high up as possible. Roger Chen is out, and he gets ahead of Adal, who is a lap down. So a little bit inconsequential that one, but still P7 for Roger Chen. Could have been a better result, I think. Yara Loco has managed to get out in front of Strutter for P8 then. You can just see Strutter there in the background, but yeah, P8 then for Yara Loco. Good result if he can finish there, up 3 places from his starting position. So a good effort. But yeah, Rex, I'm super impressed. This is good stuff.
It is an amazing day from him tonight, but we will see if he can do the same in the second race, where he starts in the midfield.
I mean, look at the gap, Michael, to the lead for Rex now.
Yeah, he's not really losing any time.
He's gaining time. Lots of it. DJ's also gained, so Gabor really is having trouble with that engine damage. But Rex has gained a lot more. He's gained a second, actually. TJ's lost a bit of time there, so Rex is on an absolute mission. Let's see if he can get another slipstream off Rocket here. Not really. Rocket was just too slow out of the final, out of that corner there. So no real gain or benefit for Rex, but really impressive drive. Look, you can see the top 2 just ahead of him there. Very nice stuff. Cannot be overstated, honestly. You know the pace of TJ, you know the pace of Gabor if you watch anything on our channel. And to see Rex well and truly in the mix on pure pace here is just epic. So yeah, good effort. We won't jinx it too much because we've still got some laps to go, but Gabor, 3 laps to go for him as he crosses start finish. TJ in P2, Rex with a solid drive, fastest lap at the moment, and P3, and Mantas, who's no slouch, is 6.8 seconds back from Rex then. Happy D P5, Zesty, his teammate, in P6. It's been up and down for him. That's an incredible run to get up to P6. But we've got Al Payson in the background, lining up back Borislav Botev, just, I think, outside the slipstream. Not the best exit in the world, but we may have a final lap on our hands for some positions further down. See what we've got. As the laps tick away here. There are 2 races. Do not disappear. Race 2 is going to be absolutely epic. I promise you. It's going to be worth sticking around for. So hold on to your hats. Let's finish this one and see where everyone's going to line up for race 2. The feature race here on round 45 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday in Live for Speed. Blackwood Historic Reversed. One of the newest configurations in Live for Speed, funnily enough. took them along a lot of years to decide to take the chicane out of this track. As Rex goes into the pit lane, and we will have to see where he comes out. This will be interesting, Michael. Let's keep an eye on it.
Let's not forget that both leading drivers TJ and Gabor have to pit this lap because we are on the penultimate lap, so there's only one single opportunity to comply with the mandatory pit stop rule. So let's see. Let's see how it will go for them, as good drivers Rex drop down to P5, but all 4 cars ahead of him have to pit, so I believe he will get back to P3 once they do. Let's see how it goes for them.
Yeah, and Zesty behind him as well, who still has to pit. Will lose quite a few places actually, so that's why he's up. He's in an artificial position. I thought he'd already stopped, so that's an artificial position there really for him. Mantas goes in, so too does TJ and Gabor as they all emerge from the pit lane. And let's see where Rex is. Has he had a good outlap? Is it good enough to make any places? TJ's through. Rex has got through on Mantas, so yeah, Rex resumes P3. That was very wide. Pushing very, very hard here on the final lap to try and gain something else out of this race. But everybody then has been through the pit lane. Zesty has been through the pits, makes his stop, and we'll resume slightly further down the order. I think Yaroloco gets him. Gabor then comes up against a little bit of traffic. Strutter also getting past Zesty. So too does Bolge. But it is quite close actually between those two, as you can see. Yeah, anyway, let's follow Gabor, Michael, to the final corner.
Yeah, Gabor has not much competition in this race, and that means that he will have to start in P15 in about a minute's time from now. But it's, in the end, Gabor Gure winning the race 1 tonight with the Fragmaster Fox Friday, TJ in P2, and a very well-deserved podium for good drivers Rex in P3. A fantastic drive by him. Let's see if Mantas finishes in P4. He does, I believe, right?
Yep.
No? Yep. There he goes. P5 should be Roger Chan, so he managed to overtake Happy D in the end, who finishes in P6. There we see. Aroloko in P7. Then it's Borgia, Strutter, and Zesty running up the top 10, and it looks like Zesty my bad. Then it's in P11 Onifus, Doctor in P12, Bovt P13, Kakoivanen in P14, and let's see who's 15. It's Pentio who will start in pole position as he's finishing P15 in the race 1 and will be place number 1 at the grid of race 2.
Thank you very much, Michael Málek. Yeah, Gabor winning in 40 minutes and 6 seconds. That was a long race actually for a sprint, and but that was a lot of action, it has to be said. But this importantly teases up for what is going to be something special in race 2. This is going to be exciting. Right, Gabor wins ahead of TJ and Rex. Mantas P4, Roger Chen P5, Happy D P6, Yaroloco, Bolge, Strutter and Zesty your top 10. Onifus, Dr. Bortz and Pekka Koivunen P14, which means that Pantheo will start on pole position. We'll finish the results and then we'll do the grid for race 2. Botev finishes in P16. That's where he will start for race 2. So just narrowly missing out there on the pole position for race 2. Then it's Payson who had that drama with Pekka Koivunen. Look where he would have finished if he hadn't have had that drama. Probably would have been on pole. But anyway, there we go. Finn UK P18, Johnny SVK and Kirku the top 20. Over on the second page, we'll have a couple of DNFs. We lost a few drivers early on, but it's Boy, Adal, Colin and Carrera, and with Rocket there, your finishers. And DNFs were Ipsal somewhere in the middle of the race with Nico for Argentina Turismo finishing or being registered 34 laps down in P27. So an epic drive from Gabor, absolutely not challenged by TJ in the end. There was a time when we thought Gabor might be a little bit struggling, but it didn't end up coming to anything in the end. So, enough foreshadowing. Race number 2 coming up very, very shortly. We'll see Pantheo on pole alongside Pekka Koivunen on the front row, with Bortz and Doctor on row 2. Onifus and Zesty will share row 3. Strutter and Bulge will share row 4. Yeroloka and Happy D will be on row 5, with Roger Chen and Mantas on row 6. Rex and TJ on row 7, with Gabor starting all on his own next to Botev on row number 8. So there we go. That is the way that it's going to line up. And the grid in the background will be reset. And we will get racing once the grid has been decided. Michael Málek, thoughts after race 1? I think we all know what you're going to say. It's going to be an epic race 2. But what do you think?
Well, I am definitely keeping an eye on good drivers Rex, who had an absolutely impressive drive in the first race, and I'm curious to see his performance in the top 15 reverse in the race 2. We will see it in just a few minutes. I think you might be interested in the same thing, don't you?
Yeah, you read my mind. Absolutely. And I think that is, pretty self-explanatory. Yep. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back just in a few moments for the start of race number 2. It's going to be epic. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to round number 45 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday. We've had race 1. It was a Gabor show with TJ finishing in P2, but it's all about race number 2. The drivers are readying up in the background. We're going to have action very, very, very soon. But here are the way that here's the way that race 1 finished, and everybody from P15 to P1 will be reversed. So it'll be Pantheo on pole with Pekka Koivunen on P2, and we have a grid. So let's go to the track. Michael Málek, take it away for the start.
And here we are for the start of the race 2. Again, 35 laps over the Blackwood historic reversed. This time with Pantio on the pole position. Lights are red, lights are green, and we are going. And it looks like Pantio had a good enough start to stay ahead of Pekka Koivunen, as they are slot behind each other. Looks like everyone got cleanly through turn 1. At least I didn't see any heavy collisions. It looks like Gabor has not made any progress since the start, but at this point he just has to go safely. He's now made 2 places from P15 to P13, as good driver Rex, who has started ahead of him, is still 1 position ahead and will now try to capitalize on the slipstream of the guys ahead.
Yeah, but the guys ahead of him have got the slipstream on each other, so Rex is actually a sitting duck from none other than Gabor, and he's already alongside. And yeah, Gabor's got a tow as well, but Rex has been passed. So this is going to be crazy into this into the final corner. Gabor and Happy D goes through. Oh, and Rex goes into the pit lane. Interesting decision. A bunch of cars going into the pit lane. Roger Chen leads the cars in. There's Gabor in P10. It's Bortz who leads ahead of Doctor, Pantheo, Onifus, Strutter, all changing positions through the first corner. And we've got a slider. That's Pekka Koivunen going sideways into turn 1. I said it was going to be chaos, and it is. And that's Pekka losing a couple of places and has to try and get the car moving again. But it's Road Appraiser 1 and 2 at the front, and they need to run. They need to go, while all the chaos is going off in the background. Drive through for Fin UK, and it's Gabor up to P9. Now finds himself hunkered down behind Yeraloco and has to try and get a slipstream on the straight. Now, where is Rex? Rex is in amongst the action. He's in and out of pit lane, but he's come out in an enormous amount of traffic. He's behind Happy D, so he's lost a load of time. Where is TJ? TJ's had an even worse run of it. He's right at the back of this pack, behind even Mantas. 3 wide into the first corner. Zest is involved. Who else is in there? Bolge and Pantheo. As who's that going into the pit lane? That's Yeraloco deciding enough's enough already into the pit lane. And well, Pantheo here still fighting with Bolge. It's Zesty up to P5. Rocket now fighting also with Johnny SVK across start finish line, side by side nearly. No, Rocket saves P8, and now Gabor's gone in the pit lane, but he's going to be coming out with Yeraloco. So, oh, sorry, yes, with Yeraloco. Roger Chen is through. Where is Rex? Where is Rex? Rex is through. I can't believe it. Rex has managed to get ahead of Gabor. So, brilliant stuff.
Yeah,
Gabor going off.
Gabor must have been held on the way into the pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at this point, the grid is essentially split into the 2 races. 1 race for those who have not yet pitted, and the second race for those who have pitted. And we will see how these strategies will merge towards the end of the race. But anyway, so far it's double for Road to Preza team, as both is leading over Doctor, and DJ for the same team is now making impression and overtaking Butuar Mantas in P16, as they are now breaking into the final turn and are about to start lap 4, I believe. It's Gabor in P15, so essentially where he has started, and DJ is actually really close. Fin UK is now completing the penalty he acquired during the mandatory pit stops, I believe.
Yep. And we're watching the rear view of Gabor because it's TJ who is trying to close up on him. Rocket's had a problem. We've got all sorts going off on the timing tower here. Rocket's off. He's found the ambulance station, which is fortunate, but there we are. Rex is also now being held up by Pekka Koivunen, so he has to make some progress, but he's got a slipstream. Let's see what Rex can manage. He's got some very, very usefully placed cars, but we've seen Pekka Koivunen coming together with cars this evening. Oh, he's going to get boxed in. He's going to have to force into the right-hand side. He goes onto the grass. Oh, this is not good. Oh, that is a risky move. Trying to overtake off the track. He's desperate to keep the place. Gabor there just in the background of shot. Pekka Koivunen will keep that place. Cheeky there from Rex. Could have gone very badly wrong. Does go wrong. Again onto the grass. Happy D will try and do something else, surely, but Rex has boxed himself in on the back straight and still cannot get past Pekka Koivunen. Meanwhile, in the background, Gabor is trying to push his way through to get involved, but Rex still unable to get through. There's Gabor tucked in now behind Happy D, but contact with Gabor. And who was that? Was that Yeroloko? Yes, it was. And Rex trying again, but on the outside. He's in the wrong place, Michael. Oh, and Happy D runs into the back of him.
Yeah, it's a proper gaggle of cars, and I'm surprised that no one died in this. And let's see how they now do in the, I would say, 6 cars slipstream. So let's see who takes the most out of it.
Watch Gabor here. Gabor is going to have to get something out of this. You can see there, Rex pulls out of the slipstream in the lead onto the inside then, and he should be through. But what a hassle! And look at the cars in the background. Gabor's weaving all over the place, trying to keep. Oh, but Gabor's running to the back of Pekka, and we've got Yeroloko into the pit lane. He's had enough, had enough of that. Mantas is off. Oh, and hard into the wall. Game over. Game over for Mantas. That'll be a big issue to try and get that car anywhere further up the grid now, as Gabor sends one up the inside of Pekka Koivunen, and that's how it's done. That's where the experience comes in. No messing around. Send it, lick the stamp, send it, and get through. And now it is a straight fight between Gabor and Rex, as TJ now wants to try and get through on Pekka Koivunen to get back into the fight. But this is absolutely epic stuff, Michael. We knew it was going to be good after that first race, but my goodness me, race 2. I am all in for this new Fox Friday format. The split racing format, it just works.
Yeah, this is absolutely a fantastic start into the race 2, and I'm really impressed about the bravery of good drivers Rex, who managed to go with 2 wheels over the grass. And for me, it would be
twice.
It would be a Code Brown moment for me, but he managed to pull it off. He did. Beautiful.
Yeah. I agree. Absolutely, 100%. If you're not watching this race, you've missed out. There's someone there. I think that's Johnny SVK peeling into the pit lane. Already, this is one of my favourite races of the season. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. TJ up to P11, and Roger Chen with the fastest lap, and he is 3 seconds in the lead of anyone else who's pitted. So he is actually in quite a good position. Has managed to stay out of all the shenanigans so far. So keep an eye on him as well. He has the fastest lap, he has clean air, he's done his pit stop. He could be one to watch, while the other drivers further around the lap struggle. So Gabor is behind Roger by 2 places. There's Rex ahead, and based on the pace that Rex had in race 1, if he can do lap after lap consistently, Gabor might have a challenge on his hands. But I'm worried because there's only 0.7 of a second between them. I'm really rooting for Rex here. Because, you know, put in such a great performance in race 1. It's just, that's all that's there that can be said. Happy D on Pekka Koivunen, Michael.
Yeah, Koivunen apparently backed off from the side-by-side braking action and tries for the revenge over the start-finish line. He has to go around the outside, which will turn into the inside line in turn 1. Unless he completes the overtake before the turn, and that's what he just did.
Around the outside, beautiful stuff. And now the gap between Gabor and Rex is only 68 hundredths of a second. It's coming down, and Rex cannot allow Gabor in his slipstream. He has to dig deep, he has to pull everything out the bag to be consistent here. It's a very, very long race, and it's already come down to these two having an on-track fight. We're going to get more drama around the rest of the pit stops, but what a start to this race. It's only been 7 laps, and we have had everything. We've had drivers off the track, full throttle, trying to get past in a box situation, and still is in the lead of the drivers that matter. Here's Yeroloko and Pekka. Yeroloko, Pekka and Happy D still together. So the drama does not stop here. Yeroloko currently leading this pack. Let's get the all-important pit stop graphics up on the screen. There you can see Roger Chen leads those who have already pitted, followed by Rex just about. Then it's Gabor. Pekka Koivunen hasn't pitted. I'm surprised. I forgive me for forgetting what happened to him at the beginning of the race, but he hasn't pitted. He's gonna finish a long way down. So of course, yes, Pekka had that spin and ended up dropping way down the order at turn 1. So forgive me, Pekka is in an artificial position there.
Yeah, he will definitely finish low in the order, but so far he's in P13. As we switch back to Gabor, who
4/10 of a second. He's turning the screws. He's trying to catch up to the back of Rex, and Rex is going to be sweating. He does not want to let Gabor through. He knows he's got the pace. Gabor has the fastest lap at the moment, so it's just experience versus, versus someone who wants more experience, but you just can't beat experience. You have to work at it. You have to get results week in, week out. And Rex is about to feel the wrath of Gabor because he's not going anywhere, is he? Fastest lap yet again. Has to back off though a little bit. Uncomfortable in the slipstream through turn 2 there. We've got Pekka in the background having more battles, but since that's for really an artificial position, Pekka's just holding people up at this point. We are going to keep an eye on this battle, Mike. Awesome stuff. Love it.
Rex is the widest car on the track at this point, but it may be no use if Gabor has better exit of the penultimate turn, as we are watching now Strutter battling with Zesty in the final turn. Zesty around the outside manages to make advancement in position and is now in P5. Oh, P4 actually, my apologies. There it is, and he's about to chase Onifus in the final podium spot of P3. In the meantime, it's still a Preza duo of Bots and Doctor in the top 2 positions in this race. 2 seconds away from each other, as Happy is battling with Pekka Kuivonen.
Oh,
there was somebody off
the track. Yeah. That was Doctor having a wobble going off the track, and that's just allowed Onifus to swing through into P2. You've got Zesty in the background as well, who's going to come into this as well. Forget what's going on down the field. This is an epic battle in its own. These guys haven't pitted yet, but the more that they battle, the harder it's going to be for them to keep their position in the race. I feel like Bortz has pulled a blinder here. If he can keep clean, he could win this. So keep an eye on Road Appraiser for sure. Zonifus now trying to get back past Doctor, and he's on the inside, but Doctor holds the position. This is costing him time. This is really going to cost them in this race. Bortz he's in a great position at the moment. Desty's now maybe going to line up Onifus as well. And there's more going off at the back. We've got Roger Chen versus Pantheo. That's for P7, and Roger is going to keep that place. Pantheo hasn't pitted yet, so that's probably why that move's happened. So Pantheo losing a place there. But it's still Rex leads Gabor, and it's by just enough. But let's keep an eye on Rex's exit from the corner here as Pantheo spun it in front of these guys. So spinning down the order there, and it's a good exit again from Rex. He's doing just enough here, Michael, to keep ahead.
Yeah, he needs another 23 good exits, and he will finish ahead of Gabor, which I think would be absolutely incredible.
A lot of exits. Oh my goodness. I am honestly watching this race. I miss sim racing. I miss being in the cockpit. I'm gonna say it for the first time in a long time. I want to be out on this track in this battle, because this is why we do what we do. This sort of racing, absolutely incredible stuff. Rex has been around the block. He is not inexperienced in LFS, do not get me wrong, but he is punching above his weight at the moment, holding everything to Gabor. And the depressing thing is that he might not even get the win, because Bortz is doing a stellar job out front. Look at the gap that he's got over the rest of the field, and the gap to the gap to Rex is 17 seconds. You can get in and out of pit lane in that time here, I think, so I think it's enough. It's not over between Zesty and Doctor. Zesty has got through, but Doctor fancies a go up the inside. He's going for it. He's very, very deep on the brakes. Can he get it slowed down? No, he can't. Oh, goes onto the grass, and Zesty just about has the inside line as they go for the run-up turn 2. Michael, Málek, we are going to need a third commentator at this rate.
Yeah, that was a beautiful switchback, and Zesty stays ahead of Doctor in P2 now, after Doctor made a mistake a few laps ago. But what we are mostly interested in is the battle between Gabor and Rex in P9 and 8 respectively.
Well, I'll have you know that Rex is opening the gap again to Gabor. The gap up to, what's that, over half a second. It was down to just under 0.4, and now it's over half a second again. Here's the next sector time. We'll see. We'll get an update. Yeah, it's holding. It's holding around 0.5 of a second, and that's enough to break the toe. So here comes the 20 seconds to the end, the exit for Rex, and it's another good exit. He's driving super consistently, but it's bad news. It's good and bad news. He's catching up to Roger, which means he's probably going to get held up, and we're going to end up with a three-way tussle for the net lead of this race potentially if Bortz continues to lap the way he is. Onifus is pitted. This will be an interesting tell. Where will Onifus come out of the pits? It should be behind TJ and Yera Loco. He was right with Strutter, so it could be. Not Strutter. Where's he going to come out? Let's see. There goes Roger Chen, Rex, and Gabor. But where is TJ? TJ will be through as well. Will he? No. Onifus comes out ahead of TJ. That's interesting. So TJ's lost a ton of time. Right, what's Roger going to do? Is Roger going to put the spanner in the works for Rex's race here? Because, I suppose he has to. He has to defend. He's in his own race here. But Rex will want to be in the slipstream now. Gabor runs wide onto the grass. That's good for Rex. Let's see. Is there a slipstream there, Michael? Has he got it?
It looks like there is some slipstream, but at the same time, it's not enough to make the advantage before the end of the straight, so we have to wait for a bit more.
At least one more lap, yeah. At least one more lap. So Roger is going to impact the potential drama behind, but he's in that place on pure merit, don't forget. We're not ruling him out, of course, but Rex is on pace, Gabor's on pace, and Roger is slipping into their clutches. Chat says he's using the wrong setup, so that could be why. Using the setup for the other way round, apparently, which is suboptimal, but at the moment he's doing just enough to mess up the airflow going over the top of Rex's car. Rex is in an uncomfortable situation now, losing time to Gabor. The gap is as close as it has been all race long between these three, and if Rex is not careful, if he doesn't get a good exit, Gabor's going to be through. Great chicane for Gabor. Come on, Rex, get that slipstream, get it done. But I don't think he's managed it. I don't think it was as good an exit as he needed. Michael, tell us.
But neither did Gabor. I think the difference is same between all of these three, so there probably won't be any overtake for the rest of the straight. But Rex really has to try something original, I would say, in attempt to overtake Rojichen, because otherwise he's just sitting duck and being slowly pushed into the jaws of Gabor, who's closing ever so slightly.
This race is the most competitive race we have seen in Live for Speed in quite some time, and it's happening in Fox Friday. I can't believe it. This is brilliant stuff. Gabor is having to work for a win, and that is something we've been desperate to say for quite a long time. He is really going to have to work hard to win this one.
You're definitely right about that, and I'm wondering, do we know how much time is lost when somebody takes the pit stop?
Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on it. I think the gap is down to 16 seconds to the lead, so even though these three are pushing... Oh, Gabor's made another mistake! He's gone onto the grass at the apex, and he's lost a load of time. Does Rex have the toe? Yes, he does.
Yeah,
this could be it for Rex. This is all he needs. He needs to get past Roger now. He has to take the slipstream, push now, and get through, and this is his chance. Roger will hold Gabor up, there is no doubt about it, so Rex has to get through on this lap. Is he going to do it? He has. Roger's not had a good exit, and that is a crucial point in the race. Gabor messed up the exit into the back straight, and look at the gap. It's just gone up and up and up. That's how much time you lose on the back straight, Michael. And Rex should be grinning from ear to ear, but he has to focus. Oh, almost losing the car.
Yeah, but another critical thing is to actually stay ahead of Roger Chen, as Pekka Koivunen is going into the pit lane from P13, choosing the very first pit box, stationary for a very short time. As Rex is now in P6, leading the group of drivers who made their mandatory pit stop.
Yes, and crucially, Bort, Zesty, Strutter, Doctor and Bolge are within 15.5 seconds, which I don't think is enough. So Rex, I am going to say with a certain degree of confidence, well, all confidence, that he will be in the lead of the race when the top 5 pit. This is an outstanding performance so far. I'm very nervous about saying that because I've jinxed it in the past, but at the moment, Good Drivers Rex is doing everything he needs to take the victory in the feature race here. I know we're only just over halfway, but the performance that we're seeing here is one of promise. This is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, this is the edge of the seat stuff, and at this point, Rex is really on the edge with both in terms of pit stop strategy.
Yeah, what can Bortz do? Bortz is still registering very, very quick sectors, so he's not out of this. Absolutely, by no means is he out of this. We aren't sure in the commentary box what a good pit stop time is. We should know, in fairness, so apologies for that, but we will try and work it out from the next person that goes through. Onifus is saying it's around about, well, Onifus did a pit stop with about 14 seconds, so potentially Bortz could come out in the lead if he pitted now. In a few of the races in recent times, I'm thinking back to when Ayub El Hanouni was driving around in the Turbo Cup and didn't pit, and he should have pitted to get ahead of Gabor and battle on the track. If Bortz loses another half a second to Rex, he has to pit if he wants to stay in the battle for the lead of this race and keep the battle alive. At the moment, he should come out just about in the lead if he pits. But keep an eye on the gap. It's 15.4 seconds back to Rex. And generally, I don't like paying attention to the times because it takes some of the drama out. But in this instance, I want to know to the 100th where everyone is in this lead in this battle for the lead. Let's see. Yeah, the gap is coming down. Bortz is losing time to Rex. Rex is absolutely on it. Fastest lap, leads of all the drivers who pitted. What is Bortz going to do? Is he seeing what we're seeing? Does he want to pit or does he want to hold track position, Michael? What would you do? He's staying out.
Yeah, he's staying out. I would pit, but let's see how these oncoming clubs will go in terms of lap time. But unlike you, I am actually very liking the magic of uncertainty we have with this, I would say, far away battles.
Yeah, this is brilliant stuff. I mean, it's been a few laps already, and Gabor hasn't even caught up to the back of Roger. He's not even in the slipstream of Roger, and Rex is checking out. I mean, the gap's not going up massively, but I'd say Rex is gapping Roger faster than Gabor is catching up to Roger. We don't say this very often, so everyone that's watching, us in the commentary box, we should be absolutely relishing in this for the next 15 or 14 laps or whatever we've got left. This is an unusual situation to be in, and I'm absolutely loving every second of it. We are seeing a fresh diamond being cut. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, and Gabor is now in perfect opportunity to make pass over Roger Chen on this back straight, and finally can hopefully start chasing Good Drivers Rex in P6 with the fastest lap. There he goes, he's side by side and will be ahead by the end of the straight. And let's see if Roger Chen tries to...
I thought he was going to do it.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to cut back inside, but felt better of it. That was an absolutely monster slipstream that Gabor got there. That cut the gap between him and Rex down an enormous amount. So very, very well timed slipstream and overtake that from Gabor. And Roger Chen has to settle back down into P8, which we believe should be somewhere in the region of P3 or 4 when the rest of the drivers pit for their stops. Now, Bortz, the gap is down to 15.1 seconds to Rex, and that is getting into borderline territory. Now, we know that in a sprint race, it's very, very difficult for the drivers to keep track of where everyone is on track, but we have the luxury of foresight, almost, and time in our hands. We're not racing a car, but Bort must pit now if he wants any chance of fighting for the lead of this race, and he hasn't. He's stayed out, so... we know it's a weekly pickup series. It's not as high pressure and high tension for some of these drivers, but for us, we want to see a battle, and we want to see the best battle in that we can. So Bort may there, by not pitting on that lap, have settled his fate and may appear outside the top three. Okay, so Gabor with the fastest lap after that monster tow will move up to P6 as who's that in the pit lane? Doctor goes into the pits, and where is he going to resume? That is going to be indicative of other drivers' performances. Behind Onifus in P10 is the answer to that question, Michael.
Yeah, we are watching both in P1, finishing lap 23. And the gap to Rex came down to 14.8 seconds, which is really very borderline with where he would come out after the pit stops. So I think it's getting pretty much late for him to stop. So he's probably losing the opportunity to fight Rex directly and has to do it through the faster laps on his own. The gap is currently 14.71 seconds, which is just about how much time you will lose going through the pit lane and making that mandatory stop. As Gabor is now right on the tail of Ruzhichan, apparently after the mistake of himself.
Yeah, he's lost a position. Final corner exit, ran into the grass. We missed it. Apologies. But another twist in the tail. Gabor has made an error. We didn't catch it on camera. A big error, because there are not enough laps left now on pure pace. If Rex drives a clean 10 laps, he's got this race in hand. Gabor has thrown away potentially a win here, because Rex is on another level at the moment. He is absolutely driving his heart out. Gabor is going to get a slipstream and try and get through again, but will Roger go for this? Will he swing to the inside? No, yet again, Roger just does not want to get involved. And Gabor's timed another perfect run to minimise the damage from that mistake. Rex is not getting away as quickly as he was before. Potentially made an error himself on that lap, actually, judging by the gap. So yeah, Bortz was 0.3 of a second faster than Rex on that lap, which means Rex just didn't do as good a lap that time. Gabor still with the fastest lap, and but yeah, actually the gap to Bortz has gone back up to 15 seconds, so Bortz isn't out of this either. Michael, this is insane.
Yeah, this is insane. I'm betting my nails, at least what's left of it. And currently the gap between Bortz and Rex in P5 is dead 15 seconds, which is exactly borderline. So let's see how the end of this lap will come for them. Usually Rex is about a tenth or two faster than Bortz, especially when Bortz is now in the traffic made of backmarkers.
Yeah, the back markers should jump out of the way, but they still have to run their race. It's not as simple as that. So Bortz has to drive the next 10 laps absolutely flawlessly, and has to go through the pit lane, which adds to the tense state that he'll be in. And it's not the cleanest of laps, this. I know there's a little bit of dirty air coming off the car ahead, but this is not the cleanest of exit. Oh, has he got the tow? Hopefully he's got the tow.
He needs it
now. Yeah, he's got the tow. So this will help massively in Bortz's effort. But honestly, if I was in Bortz's position right now, or anyone who has contact with Bortz, get him in the pit lane. Get him in the pits now. Oh my goodness me. He's through. That was a nice overtake in the end. but he's going to stay out. I feel like he's going to keep track position and just drive this to the end. If you're in the zone, there is really no reason to come into the pit lane until you absolutely have to. But knowing what we know here in the commentary box, with 14.7 second gap to Rex, it's going to go up a bit here. Yeah, 14.9. I'd be in the pits, hands down. Right.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Bots is even aware of what's on the stake at this point. If he's even monitoring the gap.
He's led from very early on. He led from pretty much the first lap, I think. But here now is the challenge. Gabor must be digging for pace he didn't even know he had at this point to keep up with Rex. Fastest first sector for Gabor. So again, pushing even on his fastest lap. Oh no, Rex goes a bit wide and spins up the rear. Oh, the pressure's starting to get to him. Oh, come on. This is so tense. But he's done just enough to keep out of the slipstream once again. That's all he needs to do. Keep out of the slipstream. Keep Gabor out of the slipstream onto the back straight. Has to do that another few times. And he might just be tasting champagne on the top step. It would be a new winner for us here on the channel. So we want to see it.
Looks like everyone here is cheering for good drivers, Rex, and I think if we win this race, it will be absolutely deserved victory.
Well, Bortz might also be a new winner if these two start to fight, remember. So if Rex can put up a defence, because I feel like a defence is going to be coming, Gabor has found another switch. He's turned it up to 12, not just 11. So let's see what's happening. They are both lapping ever so slightly faster than Bortz at the moment, but it just takes one touch of the wheel for these two to have a slightly slower lap, and Bortz could have this. And Gabor, again, he's compromised himself into the chicane. He was a little bit too close to the back of Rex. Rex kicks up some dust, but it's a good exit again. But is it enough? Oh, it's so close. I think Gabor's going to have a distant toe. But I think it's just about a good enough exit for Rex. Yet again, he has done just enough, but there's traffic now, and it's all going to come down to these final few laps. Oh man, when was the last time we had excitement for this long in a sprint race in LFS, Michael? It's been a while.
It's been a while, but on the other hand, I find almost every race in LFS exciting, and I think it's a beautiful thing about this racing simulation.
Yeah, it's pure. It is absolutely pure. The racing that you get in Live for Speed is, I'm put my neck on the line. It's unrivaled. The fun factor in LFS is just as good as it gets for this reason. Let's enjoy these final few laps, Michael. It doesn't happen very often. Gabor on the back foot, having to do everything to try and get through. Potentially two new winners. One of those two could potentially take this away, but we're focusing on good drivers Rex at the moment, who is out there pushing for the win, and it could be going his way. 14.65 seconds to Bortz. When is Bortz going to come into the pit lane? It might be on the penultimate lap. Not that lap. Look, there you go. Just goes past pit entrance yet again for the Road Appraiser driver. But Gabor, he has the purple next to his name. It means he's on the pace. He's got the fastest lap so far. Takes a very slightly tighter line into the final corner. It's tiny margins, but compromising his exit a little bit. Rex opting for the wider line, getting the position there. Strutter into pit lane. That's another car out of the way for Gabor and Rex. So Strutter loses a place, but Rex has got this car absolutely dialed in for this track. He's driving very, very well. Using every single trick in the book to keep ahead, and Gabor this time wise, not getting into the slipstream before the chicane, because he knows he has to line up the move out of the next corner, and Rex has kicked up a bit of dust, but that's thrown Gabor off a bit as well. Gabor's got oversteer into the corner, and it's playing into Rex's hands lap after lap here, Michael. He could have this.
Yeah, and looking at the timing tower, Rex is now 14.2 seconds behind the leader, so I think he's now essentially in the lead of the race.
Yeah, Bortz, there's nothing he can do. I don't know who's shouting at him in the circle. Somebody has to be. Yeah, it's 13.9. Bortz is out of it. He's done it. Yeah, he's done. There's no way, unless Rex and Gabor make a serious error in the pit lane, Bortz is out of this run. Rex takes the fastest lap of the race. Absolutely epic stuff. No slipstream needed there. Bortz is on an Rex is on an absolute mission, and I am all here for it. This is awesome.
Yeah, we are witnessing greatness, and let's not jinx it because it's still less than 5 laps to go.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. This has been a stunning performance. It'd be amazing if he could cap it off with a win, but I don't care. Either of these two deserves the win, Michael. So, epic performance so far. Gabor's back on it though. Okay, there's also going to be drama at the front of the race. Remember, this will probably end up being a battle for P3, but Zesty's caught up to the back of Bortz in a somewhat shocking turn of events. So it could be Zesty if he feels like he wants to drive the last 4 laps of the race from the gods. But no, look at Rex's pace now. He's taken another 0.4 of a second out of our net race leader. And Gabor has taken a little bit of time out of Rex. Let's see if it changes hands. It does again. Gabor takes the fastest lap. And with 4 laps to go, oh no, Rex has made a mistake. He's got onto the grass, and that could be crucial. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to sweat in here, Michael. This is intense.
I'm already wet from all the sweat on me, so you are second.
This is an absolute treat, but has Gabor got the slipstream? There's a car off ahead. Who the heck was that? That was Finn UK. Oh my goodness me. Oh, Zesty's managed to overtake Bortz on the slipstream into the final corner. We missed the actual pass, but in the end it's going to be inconsequential. Bortz, unfortunately, not able to even have a chance at defending against Rex or Gabor. But look how close it is at the... Oh, that's as close as it's been. That's as close as Gabor has got to the back of Rex. He's pushing so hard here now that I think Rex is going to have to do something absolutely miraculous now to keep the lead of this race. He has to have 3 more perfect exits out of the onto the back straight, and he might have a sniff at winning this. Oh, God. Who was that leaving the pits? That was Tallenberg leaving the pits. I didn't even know Tallenberg was in this race, Michael.
Yeah, he was the very back of the race,
yeah.
But luckily didn't impede the leading drivers.
Right, we need some wider camera angles here because we've got to see what the exit's like for Rex. It's good enough. That's 1. He just needs 2 more. Gabor made a mistake somewhere in the chicane there, and that has given a little bit more of an advantage to Rex. How many more chances can Rex be given here? How much does Gabor want to throw this race away? Zesty takes the fastest lap. I can't believe I've said that. But Zesty's taken the fastest lap. And look at the gap to now Bortz has pitted. Let's see what the gap will be. Where will Bortz come out? Will he have any chance? I don't think he will. I think the gap needs to be about 14 or 15 seconds, and that's not a fast stop. So I think Gabor and Rex are just going to swing past and say thank you very much. Job done there. Yes, Bortz is out of it. That is it. There he comes out. That's how close it was. He's come out in front of Roger, but the gap almost was equal. So Bortz is going to be absolutely kicking himself, I am sure. 2 laps to go, 1.5 laps to go. It's Rex who is in the hot seat at the moment. Zesty has the fastest lap, but the gap is just too small. Gabor's caught up again at a crucial point. Rex didn't have a good chicane, and it's a good apex, Michael. This is it, penultimate lap. He's got the toe.
Yeah, he's got the toe. He's gonna go side by side. I think Rex might try to switch behind him and try to repass it into the braking zone.
Gabor's going to hold the inside. Rex hasn't even attempted to try and get the inside. He's going to have to try and hang it around the outside somehow. Maybe tuck back into the slipstream, prioritise the exit, but he's run wide. Gabor is going to move over to the left-hand side of the track, and Rex has to keep in the slipstream. He has to go for the move into turn 1, Michael. He has to. 1 lap to go. Hold on to your hats. It could be anyone. Rex gets the inside line. Unbelievable. Gabor cannot get the inside for turn 2, and Rex takes the lead back. We've got cars leaving the pit lane. It's Zesty. Unbelievable. Zesty might influence the race here. Oh my goodness me. 13 seconds was the gap as Zesty went into the pit lane, and with these two fighting, Zesty almost took the lead. Rex has to get one good final exit out of this next corner, and he could win here in Fox Friday. I have never commentated on a race as close as this in 3.5 years. This is my favourite race on the channel. I cannot believe it. Gabor has not got the slipstream, Michael, and I want you to take it to the end because I've lost my voice.
I totally believe you. It looks like Gabor is now has run out of opportunities to make the pass, as there's now battle between Zesty and Boats for the third place, late breaking contact, and looks like Boats will be in P3. But let's switch our attention to good drivers Rex, who is going. I don't want to jinx it, but it's now completed. He's winning by less than a car length this race over Gabor in P2, Boats in third step on the podium, then Zesty in very close P4 and holding the fastest lap of this race. Then it's Roger Chen in P5, TJ6, Onifus, Doctor, Bolge in P9, and Strater completes the top 10. Then it's Master Race Cars Happy D in P11, Eroloco in P12, and we have to wait for a little bit for the cars in 13, 14, and so on. Yeah, Alpayson in P13, Pekka Koivunen in 14th, and Borislav Botyev in P15. Johnny SVK backwards in P16, and then cars that are at least one lap down, it's Tallenberg P17 and Finucane in P18, and in P19 it's Master Race Cars Carrera finishing this race. And
yeah, that is everybody, I think, Michael, as far as I'm aware. What a
let's celebrate.
Race. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing the race to an end there, Michael. We have a new winner on our channel. It's Good Drivers Rex, and he had to work harder than anybody has worked in a long time. He couldn't get the fastest lap of the race, but he's not going to care. Well, he might, and I wouldn't blame him if he did care a little bit. Zesty stole that away at the last minute. No idea how. I cannot believe how close Zesty managed to get to the front of the race with Gabor and Rex having a bit of a tussle onto the final lap. But we had a three-way fight on the final lap. Rex ended up getting it in a shocking turn of events here. Gabor finishes a 10th behind. I know I was shouting and trying to get Rex to, channel my inner energy and give it to Rex that race, but Gabor drove an absolutely stunning race. It takes two to tango, Michael, and he had to be there to provide us with some of the best racing we've seen in a very, very long time. And on this occasion, Gabor came out in P2, but you've got to be there to be involved, and it cannot be overstated about the drive that Rex just drove. And yeah, Gabor's in the chat congratulating Rex on his win. Very good show there, Gabor. Fair play to you, mate, because we all witnessed that. You had to pull something special to beat him today. He was on it. Bortz takes P3. It could have been a win if he'd have pitted a little bit earlier and had a battle with these guys, but only 1.1 seconds behind. Fair play to him as well. A very, very nice drive here in race 2. Zesty equally. I'm not sure actually how Zesty managed to fall behind Bortz even there. So that's an interesting one. Oh yeah, it happened at the final corner. They were fighting into the final corner. I passed out at that point, I think, while Michael was commentating on that. So Roger Chen finished P5, and then drivers we barely talked about because of all the drama that was going on at the front. TJ, Onifus, Doctor, Bicebolge, and Strutter, your top 10, with Happy D, Yeroloco, Alpayson, Pekka Koivunen, Botev, Johnny SVK, Tallenberg, Finucane, Carrera, your final finisher, with Colin DNFing there in P20. And then over on the second page of results, into insignificance, it's Pathio DNFing, Adal, Mantas, Boy, and Rocket all not finishing various numbers of laps down. And I'm going to take the graphics away here because I just want to leave you with the image of Rex, who is still he's probably I don't know what he's done. I hope what he's done is he's thrown his headset down, he's run out onto the street, and he's now running down the road celebrating after that one because, well, I would be. Oh no, there you go. His wheels are moving. So he is here. Congratulations, a new winner. Epic.
Yeah, he has every right to celebrate. It was absolutely fantastic driving, and this race in particular was absolute diamond and great showcase of what sim racing is all about.
Well, that brings to a close one of the best races I have commentated on in LFS. Congratulations to Gabor and Zesty, Bortz, and Rex. Rex, Gabor, Bortz, and Zesty for that one. With the backup dancers finishing in P5 and downwards. Thanks, of course, to FM for putting on this event. And I was skeptical about the 2-race format, Michael, but it's really grown on me. And I think, especially for the broadcasted races, this format works. It provides the excitement that we love.
Yeah, if I can share my opinion, I like this more than the standard Fox Friday format, but it's of course my point of view. But as you say, this provides a lot of action from start to finish twice for every event. So I think this is really something great to witness.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. This one will go down in legend, I hope, because just fantastic stuff. It didn't matter in the end that Gabor didn't win. He had to be there to provide the entertainment. We know how good he is, but Rex, well, he was better on the day, and that's all that we can say. So, well, thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining us. We should give a shout out. Actually, we do have an event happening this weekend that we would like to bring your attention to. You can go to our website, simbroadcasts.tv, and we'll tell you about it in just a second. So yeah, this weekend on our channel, we are going to be hosting the Rockingham 500 by the Kesav team. So we really hope that you will check out that broadcast. It will be from 7 o'clock UTC on our channel, and it's going to be 500 miles around Rockingham, or around the Rockingham Oval in the Super GP mod in LFS. So we really, really hope that you can join us for that. 7 o'clock UTC on our channel on Sunday. There's a shout out to that event. We really hope you can join us for it. But what a race tonight. 2 races. Race 1 set the stage for the feature race. All of the, 90% of the excitement came in that second race. We knew it was going to be a good one after the results of race 1. And it did not disappoint, Michael. I'm going to have to watch that one back. And I very rarely watch these things back.
Yeah, so do I. This will probably go into my downloads folder because this is something that shouldn't be lost in the history.
Well, I think it's poignant to say, I know we're not, and it's no sort of milestone here, but the reason we started Sim Broadcasts way back when was to make sure that certain gems that happen during racing action are archived for the enjoyment for future. And today, that was a good decision, because a race like this deserves to be framed and hung on the wall. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we did it justice. We really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you ever so much for watching. From all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, I've been Peter Butcher. Michael Málek joined me in the commentary box. Chris McElroy in the background, providing us with all the fantastic camera angles. He continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in LFS in terms of providing some excellent coverage for everyone to enjoy, including us. Without the pictures, we cannot possibly bring you the excitement that we felt during that one. Congratulations to Good Drivers Rex, an absolutely stunning performance. Congrats to Gabor, Bortz, Zesty, TJ and Roger Chen, who were providing all the excitement as well during that race. Michael, thanks ever so much. This was epic. Thanks to the Fragmasters team. Thanks to Live for Speed. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to the viewers. We'll see you next time for more Fox Friday action on our channel in 1 month's time. That will be happening on the 8th of December, as yet unknown combination. Join us on Sunday for the Kesav Rockingham 500. From all of us here to all of you, have a great evening and good night.
Good night.